You're watching A Better Memphis.
All right, we're talking about another great thing. Internet provider Comcast partners with nonprofits and city leaders to provide free internet access for students and families to learn. And joining us now, this gentleman is Broderick Johnson, Executive Vice President of Public Policy and Executive Vice President of Digital Opportunity at Comcast. He's come all the way from Washington, D.C.
Yes.
to be on A Better Memphis today.
Yes, thanks
Welcome.
very much for having me. It's beautiful here, by the way.
The weather is much nicer than D.C. Right?
Perfect.
Right. So today Comcast opened a lift zone, I understand, at St. Augustine Catholic Church.
Yes.
Please explain exactly what is a lift zone?
Yeah. So lift zones are community-based centers where people can get access to the internet for free, but they can also get digital skills training because it's not just enough for a person to have access to the internet. They need to know how to use it. So we're opening our 9th one here tonight, ribbon cutting ceremony, and though we're going to open 3 more. For the years right here in Memphis.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
Very
so
nice.
St. Augustine, if you don't know, is right off of Kerr Avenue, which is off of South Parkway here in Memphis. Actually, Elvis Presley Boulevard is actually what it's off. Off of Kerr, that's where it is. And it's a wonderful congregation. I know those people are excited to hear that Comcast has made this investment. And I understand that Comcast is making investments in other nonprofits as well?
Yes, so we work with more than 24 nonprofits here in Memphis to focus on how can we make sure that people get the skills that they need to use the internet very effectively, whether it's about education or healthcare, workforce development, and other things that are important to your quality of life. And so we've made those investments, and we're going to continue to make those investments because it matters. This is such a great city that's committed to it.
Well, share with us where some of those locations are.
So in addition to St. Augustine's, one of the newest ones that we've opened is one in the city that works with veterans-based organizations, and also at Girls Inc. and Boys and Girls Club. Those are the newest ones that we've opened, but we've had 7 others here over the course of the last several years. We started lift zones during the pandemic because we knew how important it was to have places where kids could go after school or actually during school hours when they needed to be able to do their homework, but schools were closed.
Right. I was going to ask you, I can imagine the impact these lift zones have on some of those communities.
They are wonderful places. You know, they're safe places where folks can go. These are community places where people are trusted who run these community centers. These aren't new centers in the sense that, you know, we've built these new buildings. This is partnering with existing organizations. There's a lot of community-based trust, which matters a lot.
Indeed it does. And so it's all about crossing what we call the digital divide. And you know, in our community, we've just been focused on SNAP and the pause that's happened in the payments on that. And just to give you a number for Memphis Shelby County, 152,265 SNAP recipients in our county of almost 1 million people. And so that gives you a sense about 16% of the population here qualifies for SNAP. And so therefore, it's likely a lot of the young people in those households have limited access to the opportunities to cross the digital divide. And so Comcast is opening the door for that here, right?
Yes, and you know, our commitment, you know, I joined the company a little over 4 years ago. And I was convinced, and even more so today, after these years of working for Comcast, that our commitment to close the digital divide is incomparable relative to other companies. We just have been committed, going back really to 2011 when we started our Internet Essentials program, providing low-cost internet, high-quality internet service to lower-income families. And the lift zones is just another example of that. We also have something called Project Up, which is a $1 billion commitment to open more lift zones and to be able to provide more training. You know, it's not just about access to the internet, right? Because it's ubiquitous.
Right.
It is.
It's about the training that people can get in a situation in which they trust the people who are training them.
That's wonderful. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, but thank you so much for joining us today and sharing about what Comcast is doing to make this a better Memphis.
Very proud to do it. Thank you.
Again, this is Broderick Johnson with Comcast. Again, thanks again.
Absolutely.
All right.